clock, running, 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 running. Shot, clock, running, 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 running. Welcome to Shot Clock. If you come in my lane, you getting your shot blocked. Coach Bub on the mic, VA is the hot spot. This is the podcast, tune into the broadcast. It might be a special guest, never know who gon' slide past. Got some topics to discuss while making the time pass. Let's talk about rap, let's talk about fashion, let's talk about sports, or what's the latest gadgets, and I ain't trying to brag. This right here the best show. Cross over, then lay 'em up with the left though. Let's go. You got the rock, time ticking, who willing?
Yo, it's your boy Coach Bud. We're on another episode of Shot Clock Podcast. And I got a very, very, very special guest tonight. I got the legendary footballer himself, Matthew Hall, Pnut. What's up, baby?
What's going on with you?
I'm good, man. How you?
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. You know, we above ground right now. We living great lives.
It's good to see you, man. It's been a long time.
Absolutely. It's been too long.
You know what I mean? So, let's get started, man. So, let's start off with, just growing up, how you would get into soccer. That wasn't a popular sport in the area at the time, especially, kids that look like me and you know what I'm saying? So let's talk about that.
In all honesty, my days actually start back to Lake Taylor in the early 90s.
Okay.
With my father and his men's team, the West Indies United, which was all Caribbean cats from the area that grew up out here or lived out here, was in the military. They'd come and join my father, and that's where soccer started, was at Lake Taylor. Like, that was home base. Anything you wanted to do soccer-wise for me, to see what I could see with my family, was Lake Taylor. So it used to be like 60 of us out there cooking out, eating, dominoes, and ball. And that was one thing I could relate to.
So that's your introduction to soccer.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So when you start to play soccer, like, what other sports are you playing at this time? Are you just playing soccer, or?
Oh, man, I'm playing soccer. Everybody, my brother played basketball. I used to do football all day long. That was like my favorite thing. Run track all day, swim. Like, any sport that I could get my hands on, even baseball, any sport that I could get my hands on, I was for it. Because I had the crazy athleticism.
Yeah. And that drive, you know what I'm saying? Like, coming up, you playing at Woodstock, a lot of them dudes, they've been on this show.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And you in that same era, so you coming up, playing against these guys, you know what I'm saying? So what was that like to play against guys and knowing that I never get my get back because this ain't my sport, like, and y'all don't play my sport, like, it's a little different, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. That was a challenge because, everybody knew me as just a soccer player. So when they see me in their lane, they like, oh, nah, you don't do this. Like, you can't come out here and ball. You can't come out here and outrun a route to me. And I was like, dog, I know I'm better than you.
Yeah, man,
like, I'm going to show you what I can really do. And I mean, people got to see it at times, but I never really got to tap into it to reach my full potential in, like, let's say football, where I think I honestly had a chance. If I would really push myself, I'd be doing it.
Is it that soccer is one of those sports where it's kind of like all year round and it takes up a lot of your time with the traveling and stuff? Like, you never really get to develop another sport? Like you said, full potential?
Yeah, no, when you really look at it, soccer is year round. We don't have a season. Like, at most, as a kid, you might have a month, 2 months off. You know what I'm saying? But every weekend, when I was playing, I was in North Carolina. I was traveling. So it wasn't ever like I was home. Like, I missed everything because my sport was always away. So I used to always have to hear, like, oh, yeah, we got a football game. Come check it out. All right. I'm nice. I can play this weekend. I can't play the next weekend. We grew up playing on the same Woodstock team. I had to leave halfway through the season.
City champs.
Right. just to go,
to
to a soccer tournament. And now, like, yo, dude, we ain't been here like 3 weeks. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Like, why you think soccer is not popular amongst, African Americans?
Because they don't see nobody that they can relate to. You know what I'm saying? When you young black male in general, or black woman, when you look at soccer, you're thinking of a white sport. You're thinking of, you're seeing Hispanics, or you're seeing, white soccer players, not knowing that some of the best players are black. You know what I'm saying? They might come from Brazil, they might come from Cameroon,
Mm-hmm.
They might come from England, but they're still black players. But people never put the two together. It was always, soccer, that's a soft sport. And me growing up, I was like that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played football with y'all, but, you know, like we said, I'm going to soccer practice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I live that animal where I'm the only black kid on an all-white team. Everywhere I went.
Yeah.
You know, you see another black kid, you're like, all right, what's up?
Culturally, what was that like for you? Because I know it's got to be some. It's, you know, I know. You know, as a youngster, sometimes that could have been difficult, but it also had to be some advantages as well.
I mean, some of the great advantages, in all honesty, it humbles you. You know, you gain the fact of, like, you got to really appreciate, you know, what your family doing for you or what you're doing. Because at that time, I had to travel. My mom and pops was working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to travel with another family. You know, you learn to appreciate, like, yo, I know where that dollar really coming from. You know what I'm saying? I know my family's doing X, Y, and Z so that I can be here. So I'm going to make sure that these people going to know who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then you also got to feel like a true athlete. Because, you know, as a kid, people tell you that you're good in one area, but you're going to these other areas and you're killing like that, and your name starts to really end up in these conversations, you start to really know, like, okay, I am a good player. Then you traveling by yourself and, you know, you don't got as much supervision.
Gotcha.
So you feel more like
more freedom, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So once you had that in you, when you step into the pro ranks or to the colleges or stuff like that, it didn't even matter anymore because I'm already prepared for it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's the difference with these travel teams that you're saying. It's like it's the preparation. So it was equivalent to AU basketball.
A little bit more.
A little bit more advanced.
Yeah.
Equivalent to
Yep.
the Pop Warner football.
Very equivalent to that. I mean, I would say AAU basketball and Pop Warner because you travel more.
Yeah.
You know, basketball, you got a different outreach, but at that time,
yeah, soccer was like really traveling. It's like the only thing that was traveling. Football, we didn't even have that Pop Warner and all that here.
right, it wasn't here yet.
Local.
We dominated everything local, and then after that, it was like, okay, well, that's it, we won.
Yeah.
I mean, soccer-wise, literally every weekend, I was in another city, another state, on a 4-hour drive, and you got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're going to begin, so your weekend competition isn't local. It's like I'm going to go play, you know, Lake Taylor soccer team or Newport News soccer team. I'm going to Chantilly. I'm going down to, you know, Roanoke. I'm in North Carolina. I'm in Raleigh. Different areas that you literally walk out there and you're the only black face.
Yeah.
Like, it's real. You're the only black face. So it's different, man. Especially at that time, you know, other black kids didn't.
Does that give you like a more chip on your shoulder, or like kind of
yeah.
Stick your chest out a little bit more, like all right. So, but also it's like I gotta represent. Like, cause I'm everybody gonna be watching you, cause it's like that's the one nigga on the field. Like, let's just be real. Like,
it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it really is. You know, it's difficult, man, because at that time, you know, I would call everything in the book coming up.
Okay.
So when you playing, you used to hand it.
So you would say that there's a lot of racism in.
Yeah. Yeah, because
like blatant.
It's blatant. There's no hiding. You know what I'm saying? You would hear
because it's you're really a minority. So,
right.
So you're gonna they'll display it a little bit more.
It's you are the minority.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to the South. You know, these places where you're gonna hear parents say it, you're gonna hear the players say it, but you're like, you got that dog mentality. You trying to kill because of that. You gotta let everybody know that, okay, I'm out here because I got more to prove than just being this soccer player. I'm a black soccer player out here, and y'all gonna feel how good I really am.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna bark my chest a bit louder. I'm gonna talk my talk, and y'all gonna really see what I can do. And then when you got to see other black soccer players out there, it was like, damn, that's dope.
Was it always like that? The head nod though? Like
it was. It's always a head nod.
You know
It's
what I mean?
always a head nod because the thing is, though, that head nod comes from is the fact that I'm black and you black.
Yeah,
so you see me.
I see you. Like,
you know, he might not be as good as you,
but it don't matter. Like,
but we out here together.
We out here. Yeah, we out here. Yeah.
So it was always that like weird introduction, like, oh, what's going on? You know, there's a black guy. That's supposed to be my town.
Yeah, I got you.
So it literally, that's what it was like. You know what I'm saying? So you'd show up, you see like maybe 1 or 2, and you'd be like, I'll be walking past each other.
No, I was thinking about it really because, you know, like, we used to actually go to your soccer games. It was like, before Freddie Adu, like, you was like our Freddie Adu on the beach. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody played soccer. Like, it was like, you made that shit cool. You was, you know, the way you played, like, it was still like, damn, he looked like he kind of like playing football out there with us, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it was like
it was pacey, it was fast.
Yeah.
Now, I used what I learned playing football and basketball, you know what I'm saying?
Lateral quickness, and yeah.
The quickness, but also just that mentality that we had growing up is being like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like our competition was like, you gonna know who I am. Like, same as if I'm on the basketball slapping the floorboard,
Yeah.
you gonna know I'm out here.
But sometimes, like, it was almost like you was like a point guard. Like, so you take that from basketball, because, like, even the way you know, it's kind of like a handle with the with the soccer ball. Like, it's dope. Like, it was like, damn, man. Not out there trying crossing niggas up. Like,
it's for real. And that's what I enjoyed it as, man. I love to distribute. I love to get that assist.
Yeah.
I mean, and you remember from back in the day playing ball, I never cared about scoring.
Yeah.
I used to want to play D and get assists all day long.
I'll put it, me and G gonna put it up for us.
Put a 3v3 up, dog. I'm for it.
Yeah, me and G gonna put the points up.
You know what I'm saying? I was always ready to distribute, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna translate that into my soccer game. And for me being a point guard, finding the paths people didn't see, or being as creative as I wanted to be, because I knew I had that in me.
Okay.
So it was always ready to put on the show, because I'm out here to entertain. And back in the day, we always wanted to be flashy. When you playing soccer, it's different. You know what I'm saying? So I made every time I got the ball count like, oh, my boys is out here?
Yeah.
Oh, you about to catch this work.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always kept it when I got on the field. So that's really where all that energy comes from.
Okay, so, all right, so obviously you go to Lansdowne, and at this time, the football team is, you know,
Killing.
rolling, the basketball team's rolling, track team winning state championships, soccer team competing for a state title.
Yeah, all in the right.
Like, so what was that like? Because, you know, I know sometimes it kind of was like an overshadow because, you know, of course, it's a football team.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the football team going to the state is going to get a lot more loud of noise. But, yo, like, y'all run?
Trust me,
That was a hell of a run y'all had. And nobody had y'all in it like that. Like, so it was like one of them ones who was like, damn.
We were never in it.
Yeah, y'all caught fire in it.
Exactly.
Let's speak to that.
You know, because it was, in all honesty, at that time, too, it was pressure being at Lansdowne if you was an athlete. Because if you wasn't...
We put the pressure on.
Yeah, y'all put the pressure on us early. You know what I'm saying? Because you heard the names, you reading the newspaper like, damn.
And for the people, so by this time, you're already all region, all state.
Right.
One time.
Yeah.
And you still got a senior year. I'm just trying to let the people know.
Nah,
like,
true.
You was doing your thing already.
I was already a
But
player.
now you had to solidify yourself and, you know, put some banners up, which you did.
Right.
So, yeah, let's talk about that.
It was difficult, man, because, you know, your Cox, your Kempsvilles, your Kellums, you know, FCs, those are your top 4 schools that always had the good players.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew.
Yeah.
Like, I scored the first goal in school history, but my freshman year, we was getting beat by 20.
Yeah.
Freshman year, we was getting beat. They didn't have no mercy rule.
Was too.
They didn't have no mercy rule. My junior year, I changed everything. I'm like, I'm not losing this year. Like, I know what it's like, so I'm going to make sure the class I'm building underneath me, these guys are going to be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be on them. And I took that leadership to where I'm going to make sure we're going to do it. So my junior year, I had 10 goals and 10 assists. I made sure, like, everything that we did was sufficient. Like, and everybody underneath me, them freshmen, them sophomores, they was going to be ready by the time they were seniors. And Lansdowne had that name. So my first 3 years, it was all about trying to prove a point that I can do this. I can lead this group.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I already see, hey, yo, dude, why don't you come be the kicker for the football team?
Yeah, we used to all the time. We're like, bro, you ain't got to come to practice, nigga.
Just show up.
Just come to the game and just boot them bitches.
Just kick the ball. That's all we want you to do. Just come get a ring for free. That was always the pitch. And I was like, nah, I'm going to make sure the soccer team do well. Because y'all had banners. Track had banners. You know what I'm saying? And at this time, our basketball team Stan was finally getting his comfort zone.
Went to the state
You know what I'm saying? Mike was there, so we had Rule was there for that year. So we were banners. All you do, you walk into the gym, it's a new school. We got banners, and I'm like, I have nothing up here, so I gotta make my name because everybody knows who I am in the school. I can't walk around like I'm duping. I'm not walking around, but she ain't accomplished nothing. Like, nah, I had to make sure my name accomplished that wall with all them pictures. It gotta mean something. Because that's that legacy that we left behind.
Yeah, right. You did that, and because y'all lost the state semis.
State semis.
Who'd y'all lose to?
team from Northern Virginia. They wore the green jerseys. Oh man, I can't remember the name of the school, but they beat us, and that was the furthest the school has gotten. I mean, Amir.
What was that feeling like though?
It was great. You know what I'm saying? Because you knew where we were all coming from. We were the only sport that like we didn't have players coming in. We were the school that everybody was trying to take from.
Yeah, you had to build. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody had to take from it. So when them guys were graduating, I mean leaving Lansdowne Middle, some of them going to Kellum because you know Kellum got a better team, or some going to FC, and then it's like, oh yeah, listen, Lansdowne, I ain't worried about it. But I was there. You know what I'm saying? So it felt good to come in such a short time. Like this is what we did, because nobody had Lansdowne to do anything. Soccer wise, no. No, it was no. We not the football team. We not the basketball team. We not getting nothing. And we took a lot of that on our shoulders. Like we got to prove because we got you, we got G, we got like you walk through our halls. It's an all-star show in every sport. Because we walked around school with a different attire, different mentality on a day to day.
All right, so. Transition, and, you know, from high school to college, right? Some setbacks, you know. I think maybe the last time life got a little bit too much to you because you ended up having to go to a JUCO.
Yes.
And when we talk about the last time life, we can get into it a little bit.
We can get into it.
I mean, I just remember, your pops ain't gonna trip now, man. This shit just.
It was at a time where
it was a little minute ago, but we should take a lot.
it got real. It got real for a while.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? But at that time, you know, we were like young stars, young teenage rock stars. And at that time, we were literally doing the things that people would see on movies. We were doing it in high school. You know what I'm saying? We'd be out.
The
beach house, Peppermint, the Cave, any bar you could think of or concert, we were there. Like we knew it. We had Joe Smith show up to our football game. We had every star, somewhat rapper, or whatever show up to our football games, basketball games, or we knew them just from being at our school. You know what I'm saying? And my last time years, boy, trust me.
So,
it was a wild one.
So your wild days get you to JUCO. What's that like? Because you go in the middle of like desert, right?
Yeah, what happened is I had signed as a junior to go to ODU. I was a top recruit for ODU.
Okay.
And I signed as a junior, not realizing that the whole college process.
Yeah, you still got to keep your grades.
Right. And I kept them.
You thought I signed.
Yeah.
But
I'm good. So it's not until like my last day they're like, oh, you can't get in. So it was like, what? I can't get in. Then I talked to my mentor, Leroy, and Leroy got me to JUCO in Tyler, Texas. And the funny story is, when I got to Texas, it's in the middle of nowhere, like middle of Dry County.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing. The area is smaller than Lynn Haven. You know what I'm saying? We had more people in our high school than we did walking around the town. And I used that setback to be my push. So I'm in another football school. Like every player that played on our football team playing somewhere big.
Gotcha.
Like Johnny Knox, he played for the Chicago Bears. We used to run races every day in the dorms. Jimmy Butler used to pull up to our school. Shout out to Afani from Tyler. Jimmy Butler and Afani used to always be in our dorms. So our basketball team and the soccer team shared the same floor. All of them used to be right near our floor. We used to have water fights. Like we used to look out for each other. The football team and soccer team always. We used to get battles up there. And great athletes, we pushed each other to be better. And out there in Tyler, I had the mindset that I'm going pro. I ain't never having more setbacks. And that lit a fire underneath me. Like I didn't get into ODU. South Florida recruited me. All the schools in the ACC, and here I am in a JUCO, not realizing that like what JUCO really meant. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, damn, am I good enough? Am I smart enough? am I ready for college? And once I got there, I never looked back. I never came back to VA like that because I was focused.
So that was even part of the decision to stay that way and go to Grand Canyon.
Yep.
Okay.
And when I got to Grand Canyon, that was that was actually.
And what part of it's in Arizona, right?
Yep.
What part? It's in Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Okay.
So when I got to Arizona, I got to Grand Canyon actually at the time. Alice Cooper, the rock star, owns the school. And we're surrounded by U of A, and we're right next to ASU. So we right next.
Arizona State's the #1 party school in the country.
Right.
So good, I know.
So
I know.
we are right there. And when I get to Arizona, it's like a whole new world. You know what I'm saying?
You back.
I'm back. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I'm in Arizona. I'm the man. But funny thing, I don't even get to play the first month of the season. I ended up having testicular cancer.
Damn. I never knew that.
Yeah, I ended up having testicular cancer. Like, I left, when I graduated high school, I've been living with it for 7 years and never knew. I get to Arizona for my physical that day. Just got done playing the day before with the Piranhas out here in the national tournament. I get down to Arizona, the doctor for the Phoenix Suns does my physical. And he feels this mass, and he's like, just come and do a CT scan. He does a CT scan. I have a mass in me the size of a softball. And it's testicular cancer. Yeah, reality hit.
So, what's going through your mind at this time? Is it, I mean, obviously soccer's not even.
It actually was my option. I
Okay.
didn't if you're 19, 20 years old and I tell you you got cancer or you got a form of cancer inside you, you're not going to be prepared for that. You're going to be like, all right, I can beat this, let's go. When's my next game?
Okay, you're right.
You know what
You
I'm
got a lot of
saying?
you're so foolish. You got so much life to live. Like,
Right.
Even
Not taking it
processing
in.
it. I got you.
I remember when the doctor was like, well, call your family, just let them know you're going to go do surgery in like 2 days. I remember calling my mom and she was like, what? She dropped the phone, bawling, and I'm like, yo, I'll be fine. I'm just going to get the surgery tomorrow, no big deal. My whole family, everybody's like, how do you get what? You know, the doctor didn't understand it either. He was like, the only thing that saved me was that I was healthy. Like, I actually had a really
be
good
an
health.
athlete. Yeah.
He said if I wasn't, waist down would be mush. Like you could push me with your thumb, you could push it to my legs. I'd have no muscles, no nothing. And he was like, just because I was healthy and maintained that like really good condition, my body, that saved me. So yeah, that was a game changer. Like I then realized I'm not Incredible Hulk. Like I'm not Superman. And that's when enjoying every minute of the day and enjoying life for real, for me, kicked in. Because when we was younger, we was reckless.
Yeah.
We was reckless, and we seen, you know what I'm saying, some of our best friends go to jail, get shot, get killed, we've been shot at, you know?
Yeah.
We've been running and having a fight from middle school, and even elementary school, out College Park. And you look at it coming to where we are now, and somebody tell you that you got cancer, it didn't switch. And then you look at only you and Lance Armstrong are the two people who have this. You know what I'm saying? It's not common for a 19-year-old to have that and to be walking and running around and to have every doctor check you week to week, month to month out here getting physicals. No one picks it up out here in VA. No doctor, and I'm getting physicals. You know, we got to get physicals every 3 months.
Exactly.
No sign of it out here. First month of the season, I can't play. I did one practice. I made somebody fall in my first practice. Surgery the next day. And this whole, like, the school, everybody's like, what, like, you gotta do what? You have what? You just got here. You were just playing.
Yeah.
I went through a month of recovery, trying to laugh, trying to cough, eat. And once I got my legs back, I remember my first game back.
So you made it back that year.
Yes.
So
I missed the first 5 games of the season and I made it back. No red shirt, no nothing. And my first game, I'll never forget it. The trainer told me, cannot play no more than 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Yeah. That's like nothing in a soccer game.
Right. There's no timeouts.
Yeah, but she's run forever. That's like nothing.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, 15 minutes? He's like, yeah, because you're a medical risk. Like, anything goes wrong, the school is getting
Gotcha.
all kind of insurance, paperwork, and all of that.
Gotcha.
So my first game, dog, coach was like, how you feel? I said, I feel good. He said, just let me play. Dog, you wouldn't believe I played 120 minutes that game. We went to overtime, everything. I never came off the field.
But you knew that's when you knew you were back. You felt good.
Yes. I had a sling on, bandaged up all around my waist, and I played 120 minutes, and I killed it my first game back. And this is coming out of surgery, coming out of eating, everything. No running. I just jumped on the field. And that's when I knew I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm about to put a highlight out here.
So we finished all Pac West.
Yep.
Now it's, let's talk about, your experience with actually practicing and, training with the LA Galaxy. What was that like?
That was.
I mean, that's the big leagues, bro.
That is.
Like,
You don't get no
it
higher
don't
than
get
that.
no higher than that.
It
No.
don't. It's funny, man. I was in Florida training. My man Eric Gibbs, that whole squad. We used to have our little summer camps. All players on the contract, players that needed to get contracts. And I remember Fly, my agent at the time, was like, "Dude, Bruce is gonna call you in a few." And I'm like, "Bruce, who?" I just answer the phone. Bruce called. I remember my man E's car sitting passenger, and we driving down Clearwater. And Bruce Arena, the head coach of the LA Galaxy, calls me and says, "Dude, how you doing? This is Bruce Arena." I said, "Stop the car, dog."
Aston
Cool.
Kutcher. This is Aston Kutcher.
Right.
Stop playing with me.
Like, who? He said, "This is Bruce Arena. Like, how you doing? We've been training you for a while. We're ready to bring you in for preseason." And it just up ready. I was like, all right, I'm flying back to Virginia. He was like, yeah, we got a first class ticket for you coming. Just be ready to pick everything up. Thank you. Click. I ran out the car and was like, this is it.
What was your like?
My face?
Yeah, just the emotions.
The joy it felt. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, at soccer, even at this time, as a black player, you don't get to choose. You don't get that phone call unless you really busting your ass. You know what I'm saying? And I happened to be on their radar. Like, they had my rights. I never knew until they called me, because at that time, MLS teams could kind of own your rights while you're in another league, and you wouldn't know unless they called you in or something happened.
Gotcha.
And man, the joy I felt, because I'm like, I'm at the LA Galaxy. Like, there's no bigger club in the States. David Beckham, Rodney Keene, Landon Donovan, Giassi Zardes, you know what I mean? Omar, AJ, like, we played against them 3 times that year, and I had really good games. And when they called, I was like, yo, this is it. Like,
I'm ready.
I'm ready. And I literally went there with that mentality, man, and it was great. They showed me a lot of love, even still today. They give me a lot of love out there. It was a great situation. I led the team that preseason in assists. And you're training with Robbie Keane at that time. It's ridiculous. Like, probably one of the best players I ever played with. You know, Landon Donovan was on that squad. That team that I was on won the last championship for LA. You know what I'm saying? So I was a part of that process of winning the championship. Got to know what it's like. We went to Mexico.
Yeah.
And you train against the best. Like, everybody that I played with was on the national team. So I'm seeing their mentality like, oh, I gotta go this hard, this harder. You know what I'm saying? And dog, it was great. Like, that was the epitome of being a professional.
Yeah. I see you even train with the national team too.
Yeah. I've been called into camps when I was younger. It was dope, man, because that's where you actually got to see kids just like you players just like you. You know what I'm saying? At that time, there was a lot of young black kids on those national teams, on those regional teams, regional pools, and those are the kids that, just like you were, you know what I'm saying? They were dogs in their area, but soccer was a thing. There was a lot of Africans at that time, a lot of Caribbeans. So it's perfect. It's my world. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like every time we got to camp or I was called up that year, it was just like I was the guys who I knew, who understood. And you keep those bonds because once I turned pro, I saw these same faces again. And you're like, damn, he made it pro and I made it pro. You know what I'm saying? We were competitors every day. And we weren't the ones that everybody was talking about to make it to where we are. You know what I'm saying? You had other players that were ahead of us. So it was great. You know what I'm saying? It was really good to get that experience and to have that opportunity. You know?
Just sometimes you just sit back and just be like, wow, like the same kid who, you know, probably used to get laughed at a joke sometimes for playing soccer. You know what I mean? It's, you know, it was a professional soccer player. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, you know, now coaching professional soccer, like, so.
Yeah. It's real funny, man, because, you know, we used to joke, oh my gosh, hard. And like I said, I was just a soccer player. And I mean, I'm in the mix of you, Smoke, who held nothing back, D, P, Ryan, you know what I'm saying? I'm around real people who talk that talk, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, if you didn't have thick skin or couldn't take it, you couldn't be around.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I gave it back, but you know, I'm a soccer player. Like, Pnut, this ain't for you. What you doing out here? You too damn little. Like, this ain't for you.
Yeah, y'all niggas don't need to use your hands.
Right. You can't catch nothing. Like, go kick a rock, dog. Go kick a coconut. You know what I'm saying? That was the reality. And then fast forward now, it's like, damn, I'm still doing it. Like, I'm coaching now. I'm part of a team. I mean, I've done things that same kid.
Piggyback off that, like, when did you know you were going to transition into coaching? What made you want to coach?
What actually made me want to coach was I kept seeing the same style of soccer. And I kept seeing kids not develop or have the opportunities to be pushed more than just being an athlete. And I got tired of seeing the same story, like, oh yeah, he's black, but he's just fast. And hearing coaches just say, just run, you're faster, or you're stronger. But they were never taught. You know what I'm saying? They were never taught by someone like them, or from someone who related to where they grew up in. And that was something that I feel like I had to get back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because even still today, you see a black soccer player, or you see a soccer player in general, you're like, how do you get hip hop out of that? You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
How do you get cool out of that? Like, how do you get, you know, how you get to be the man in that sport?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And growing up the way how I grew up with everybody, it was like, I got to learn, you know what I'm saying? How to be fly, how to, you know what I'm saying, carry myself in certain rooms, how to talk to people and to be me.
Got you.
Because as a soccer player, I'm with y'all. I'm in the street.
Yeah. Now, right.
We're in the street. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. People know my name and don't know the face. Because at that time, back in the day, baby face.
Yeah, love head bitch.
Right. You know, that's how I go.
Yeah.
That's how I go, man. Can't complain from it though.
Damn. So I see you got the clothing on, and let's speak to that. How did that come about, and what's the inspiration behind that and the drive?
Oh man, football started for me in 2005. My senior year, did a photo shoot. Bree and Leroy was like, they were going to put football together. Did a photo shoot at ODU, and I was in it. And I'm in high school, so I'm seeing my face on these little cards and stuff, and I'm like, damn, that's me. See my face on this website.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting down, sketching how the shirts should look or how they need to be worn. and that was my change into fashion. You know what I'm saying? Because I could always dress.
Yeah.
Sneaker game was my world, so I could always get a quick shirt and pair of jeans. Then I game with football, that made me.
I used to do with the dunks, man.
Yeah. See? See? Like, my shoe game was different.
We know who won Best Dressed in 05, though. So,
I don't know how.
Man, come on.
I don't
man.
know how.
Come on, fam. Come on, baby. You ain't gonna do this on the camera.
I'm gonna do this on the camera.
You can't disrespect me on my own show.
Man, listen. Only thing, you know what I give you? I give it to you.
Who's innovative?
This man, once Jay-Z said get a button-up shirt, came to school in a button-up and the boat shoes,
Crazy ones, dude.
Sperry's, and I used to be like, get the hell out of here.
Niggas was wearing Vans before niggas was wearing Vans. The big Vans.
Yeah, the skateboarding ones. Coming to school was a fashion show.
Damn right.
Every day. Especially if Jordan was getting released that day, half the school missing.
I used to love bitches.
By 12 o'clock, oh man. That's what it was for.
Yeah.
Bagging chicks. How you gonna stand in the morning? How clean you gonna look? You know what I'm saying? What shoes you got on? And that was it. And football was the start of that for me, man. And that really got me into fashion. And even now, I mean, each collection we put together is well thought out. I love to design, and we sit back and we get things right. But it's been over 10 years, man, and it's grown so much. You know what I'm saying? We got guys from the U.S. national team, you know, from Weston McKinney to Zach Stephens that played overseas in Europe. You know, even the Timothy Wayers, and you even got guys, local youngsters, high schoolers, kids in college now, especially after the new rule in college. You know, it's like football university now. You know what I'm saying? You got musicians like Taurus Riley and Sean Paul, you know, wearing it, and you're like, that's my word. You know what I'm saying? You love to appreciate it more, and it makes you, you know, step your creativity up. And how far ahead can you think in advance? You know what I'm saying? Like we see what the Virgil Ablohs and, you know what I'm saying, Aaron Preston, you see every athlete now with the clothing line. Yeah. And it's like, damn, that shit it's easy to get to, it's accessible. But what are you gonna do once it's in your hand? You know what I'm saying? I see you with the hats now. I see you creeping. Creeping into the territory.
Come on, man, be quiet, man.
See?
Quiet, man.
But nah, man, it's great to see it, man, because I remember them days just sitting up at night drawing and thinking, yo, what if somebody actually has this on? And I was seeing kids with it on a day-to-day out here, you know, to seeing guys wear it to their games, or to see women in it and we're working on women's line. You start to appreciate the little things that you've done coming from where we come from. You know what I'm saying? Because we know what the other side of that ball game looked like. You know what I'm saying? And we got to see that young. You know, we did our wrongs and we got to do our dumb stuff. But once we stepped into that ball game, like, all right, this is reality, like, this is life now.
Yeah.
That's when it became like, all right, this is what I need to do to take care of me, or take care of X, Y, and Z. So now we're gonna make this work.
And indeed you have, sir.
Oh yeah.
And, you know you're going. What's it? Give us a shout out. Let us know where you're coaching at. You know the team. You know, shout your team out, man.
Oh yeah. AC Commonwealth all day. My pro men's team from Virginia Beach, and Norfolk. Mostly in Norfolk, a lot of our guys come from. But we play in USL. You know, all local. Like we're the only team that has all local guys. Minority ownership. You know, it's a great thing to get players from here and to put them out for people to see. You know, and we shine a lot of light and talent out here. You know, I just got back from coaching the women's team in North Carolina, Oak City United. That was a great experience as well. You know, I also got an event going on in Norfolk with the Norfolk soccer out there, just street soccer, and also just getting kids out there who play a position. So it's a lot that I'm putting myself in to be involved in, to grow the game out here, grassroots, and to grow a community, you know, because everybody I know got kids, and they always tell me, yo, I want my son to play soccer, I want my daughter to play soccer, can they kick a ball? And I don't want to keep pushing them on other people that can't do what I can do for them.
I got you.
And so for me, I take pride in making sure that everybody around me knows that, yo, I got somebody that I can go to help my kid be better. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's not soccer, just that's a role model. Like that's somebody who I grew up with that played sports that they did it. You know what I'm saying? And they're still here, growing, giving back. You know, most of us that grew up here that played any sport, everybody else is gone. You know what I'm saying? We don't get to see them faces no more. We just got to think like, oh, what's the paper telling us? What's the story from this person, from this person? But now I'm here, you know what I'm saying, able to make sure that everything is tangible. You can reach out to me, you can ask questions. How do I get my kid better, or how can we link to make something happen? And to get back to the community, you know what I'm saying? I'm deeply into Norfolk and helping out there because there's no soccer out there for real. There's an opportunity to reach out to youth, not just Norfolk, but to everybody.
Just grow
everybody in the
grow the game.
But yeah, it's all about growing the game, man, and getting these youngsters to realize that there's somebody out there they can relate to. And you can be a cool black kid, dress up, you know what I'm saying, do your thing, and play soccer, right? You ain't gotta be out here chasing a wildlife or gotta be proving yourself. There's somebody fucking that everybody respect that did what he did in his sport. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Respect that.
Always, man. The legend himself,
Oh yeah.
Matthew Hall, man. Appreciate you
Appreciate you,
jumping in
man.
on me, dog.
Oh, no problem, big dog.
Shot clock.